free. Broadcast the rhythm. Go live, Vegas on the screen, feeling the flow, so pristine. Boom, as the beats align, electric dreams, they intertwine.
Killing in a spin, talking life's wild jive, sipping on wisdom with a grin. Midlife mischief keeps it live. Laughs are stories, cheers all around. Raise a glass where wisdom's found, with a sip of truth.
I have menopause.
Profound. The jokes and tales by the fire's glow, discussing changes the season show.
I do not like that white background, but I am Raquel Kearney-Ellicus. Up there is Lynn joining us from Virginia, and all the way from Calgary, Alberta is Rena today. And if you are tuning in and watching us, you have accidentally stumbled onto Midlife Mischief. Guess what we're doing today, ladies? We're doing a lot, not live. We are not live. Just so people know, we are not live because there's no way we'd be able to do this live. I haven't figured it out. But we are going to learn how to make bread today. Specifically, buns. Dinner rolls, buns, whatever you want to do. Are you ready? First of all, tell me how your week is going. Rena, what are you up to?
Same old stuff.
Is it snowing?
No, we are in dry dust season right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
So the snow is melting. We have a bit in our backyard. We used the barbecue yesterday.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Without having to shovel to get to it, which was lovely.
I remember that.
To cook burgers, it was wonderful.
Lynn, how is your week going? I haven't seen you all week. Actually, it's been over a week because we didn't run a show last week, did we? No, we did not. Sorry.
No, we didn't. That's why we're here tonight. That's what it is. Okay.
Yes.
I had to get my mind together. Like, what day is it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's going. It's going. It's busy as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going.
Okay. We're a little slow today, I think, because the heat. Is it snowing where you are? No, it's not snowing. Is it hot?
No, our weather is it's very windy here. Lots of wind.
Okay.
It's kind of up and down. Like in the morning, it'll be cold. By midday, it's like, fallish or springish. And then, maybe around 3:00, you're burning up, and then it gets cold again. So we're getting like all the seasons in one day here.
Ew.
Yep.
Ew. Would you like to know what temperature it is in Las Vegas today? I will tell you.
I really don't.
In Fahrenheit, let me see. In Fahrenheit, it is 92 degrees. And for the rest of the world, that means it's 32 degrees at the end of March. I know. And I struggle with hot flashes, so I am sweating from here all the way down and all of the jiggly bits in between. It is not pleasant right now. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it. I was hoping we were going to ease into it, but we are not easing into it. That's what she said. Yeah. What was that? That's what she said. For what part?
Jiggly bits?
Is your hair purple?
No.
You done messed
Is
up,
it?
Your scrunchie
Is my hair purple? It might have a purple tinge because I use purple shampoo, and I think I either left it in there too long or it just grabbed onto and held on because of the heat or something. So no, it may be a little purple today. Yeah.
It's really giving like 1980s punk rock Cyndi Lauper vibes here. So I'm just like, okay, what's he doing?
I spent about an hour this morning using one of those. Have you seen the curling irons that they're like a barrel, double barrel or a triple barrel or whatever?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, that would be fun. That's very loud. I thought that would be fun to try just because my hair is always messy. And then it was hot. So by the time I was done, I hairsprayed it and then put it up. So that was a big fat waste of my time. I know. I think I'm gonna shave it and I'm gonna buy a wig. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, they're hot, girl. They're hot.
They're hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. So a scarf. I'll shave it and put on a scarf. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna get started on this because I don't know how long it's gonna take. Lynn, you're just gonna follow along and pay attention. I don't want to ask you next week if you made the buns and you say, I just couldn't understand it.
Well, I am going to attempt to make the buns.
Okay.
My issue is yeast.
What's wrong
Yeast and I don't get along.
Okay. Do you use this one? Can you see this, Aaron? Where do I put this?
Yes, I've used that one before. I've used the instant yeast in the packets because people say that's easier. Nothing works for me. But I grew up with this one right here in the jar. Yep, Fleischmann's Active Dry. That's the one that I usually use. And yeah.
Okay, well.
So I'm going to pay attention.
Rena, do you have a problem with your yeast? Do you have a yeast problem?
No, I saw my doctor for that. I'm good now. She's growing beautifully.
Yogurt helps. Yogurt helps with that.
Probiotics, girl. Probiotics.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We got a little off track there. I'm gonna have to take these off because I'm starting to sweat. Okay. This is new. Do you see this behind me right here?
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, for people who are watching for the first time, this is the list of ingredients that you're going to need to make the bread. It's hard to see. Okay, but people, if people are watching, they're going to be able to pause it right here and write down all the ingredients. I will post this recipe on Midlife Mischief when we're done. And Lynn is having another seizure. Are you okay, Lynn?
It's an internet seizure.
Oh, there. You're all good. Okay. So this is the ingredients, but I'll talk you through it as we go along. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put in 1.5 cups of warm water. I always do a little bit warmer than warm, not too hot, but a little bit warmer than warm, just because by the time you're done adding everything else, the water cools down really, really fast, especially if you're in a place that has air conditioning or if you have your window open and you're doing this near the window or whatever. So I always just make it a little warmer than warm. Okay, there we go.
Push the bowl forward.
Where do you want the bowl? Right there? Okay. And now I have to put my glasses back on. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons is a lot. Usually when I do my bread, it's only 2 teaspoons, but you need 2 tablespoons of yeast. Okay? One. 2. You see these? they're shaped like a heart. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Where's the? These are from when I was doing weddings. I got these. Okay. That's the yeast. Now, sugar. It says 1/8 of a teaspoon of sugar, but I don't have 1/8, so I believe it's 1/2. I could be wrong. My math is not my strong suit, but I believe that's what it is. So, there we go. And what else? And the olive oil.
Gotta watch the monitor.
Huh?
Gotta watch the monitor for you. So you can see where you're putting
Where I'm putting it? I'm putting it in the bowl. What do you mean? Okay. I've never done a cooking show. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just putting it all in the bowl. Then we mix. Rena, are you doing this too?
I did it while we were getting ready.
Oh, you cheated. Okay. That's
did.
fine. That's fine. Okay, now we're going to set this aside for a couple minutes while we do the rest of this. Okay? Well, actually, we're not doing anything else because normally this is where you would prepare your tray or whatever. But I'm in the studio and I don't have a tray. So, I'm not going to do that.
Maybe we need some background.
No, we're just going to have a conversation maybe about Rena and her yeast.
My yeast is fine. I may have oversugared her a little bit. She's growing. Woo!
Okay, so that should sit.
She's growing. Let me see yours.
Yeah, can we see yours? Let's see yours.
I don't
Show
know how
us
to
yours.
make it so.
Okay.
Um,
Oh my,
Yeah.
that's
bowl.
very
Yeah.
foamy. Wow. Okay, we're just gonna put mine right there and
Is
let
that
it
what
sit
they
for a
mean
minute.
by when they say it's alive?
Yes. Yes. So you want to wait until it's all foamy like it was with Rena's. And that's when you know if it doesn't do that, that means either where you're doing it is too cold or your yeast has gone bad. And nobody wants bad yeast. That's worse than too much yeast. Sorry. Okay, on to the next part. Do. Do you see this? This is. Lynn, do you know how to use one of these things? Smartboard?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you can teach me how to use it next time. I'll teach you to make bread. You teach me how to use this. Because I don't think I should have to use my iPad to move things, right? I should be able to do this.
Is that an actual smart board behind you?
Yes.
Yeah. You should be able to touch it. Yeah, you should be able to touch it.
Yeah, and I should also be able to write on it and stuff.
Yep.
I haven't
Yeah.
got that far yet. That's for another day. Okay. We're still waiting for this. So mine's starting to foam up a little bit. It's starting to. That'll take a minute. So in the
So how was your
meantime,
week?
let's see. Well, it's been stupid hot. Not much. My week has actually been really, really quiet and really slow so far. I don't think there's anything eventful happening at all that I can
Well,
think
that's
of.
good.
It is good. Touch wood. Because the week's not over yet. Like I said, we're not live right now, and it's not Sunday, and we're only halfway through the week, and that means anything can happen. So we're gonna touch wood here, and I am sweating buckets. Holy shit! It is
You
hot
need
in
a
this
fan
studio.
in there.
Aaron needs to bring you a fan.
There's
Or
one
3.
here, and we've got the air conditioning on it, but there's a lot of lights in here.
Yeah.
I don't know how people on television
You're
do
really
it
epic.
and look really pretty, because I there's no way. Whew. Anyway, we're supposed to have hot weather all the way through to the end of what I can see on my weather app. I don't know. What's happening in Canada up there, Rena? Anything interesting?
Nothing I'm paying attention to.
No, me neither.
We're calling a new election, April 28th.
I heard about that. I know nothing about it. I will have to learn, but
So Justin Trudeau
is gone.
stepped in. So
He's not
the
gone.
liberal-
I don't mean he's
but
gone.
The liberal followers, whoever, whatever, voted Mark Carney in.
I
So
do like
he
his
followed
last
the
name.
tradition.
I do like his name. Yes, it's got a good name.
It's
Good name.
So he's called an election because it would be weird not to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
did Joe step down?
Because nobody liked him.
He was done. I think he'd been there long enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was a
Look at
career-
Lynn's face. Can you see Lynn's face right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Very few, except for the liberal, the people who followed the Liberal Party. There was so much angst against him and just rage that the Conservatives brought because he was actually doing quite well for a while.
Yeah.
That
He was.
and then we ended up with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Fine.
Right.
Not really a good thing to try and minister through.
Wow.
No, but he
So
he
he
finished.
did
He
like-
finished
did
well.
quite well.
He finished
he did.
well. So in
Yeah,
other
he did
words,
a lot
he's
of
he's good at
things that,
he's good at starting and he's good at finishing, but he's not so good at the stuff in the middle.
no.
There's a lot of people like that. Men are all like that, I think. It's just not their strong suit.
Yeah.
They can
we go
start
right from
and they can
start to
finish.
end with nothing in the middle.
Yeah. It's a lot like sex.
What about the rest of us?
It's a lot like
Yeah.
sex. Yeah. The start's fun, the end is fine, but the middle
These are the
sometimes
conversations we
needs
have.
some work.
And she's like, oh God, these white girls are just rough.
Lynn's like, it's too early for this. Damn
I
it.
have very little
Sorry.
filter left.
Oh,
I have gone all the way through menopause,
Mm-hmm.
living through all of the gaslighting of it. So my filter done died. I buried it in the backyard.
Well, okay, so where are you in menopause, Rena? Because Lynn is at perimenopause. I'm right smack in the. I think I'm in my
You're still
5th year
until
of menopause.
Nope.
So where are
Menopause is
you?
1 day. Menopause is 1 day. That is the day you finally get to say it is completely done. I've had 1 full year of nothing. Until then, you are perimenopause.
Yes. So where are you?
So I am 3 years beyond that.
Okay, I'm
just
5 years.
finally getting my HRT and stuff like that because I kicked down a few doors and I'm no longer accepting the bull.
So you're going the hormone replacement route.
Yeah, because none of the other stuff has helped.
Okay. See, I haven't gone that route, and because for me, perimenopause was worse with symptoms than the actual menopause. And the biggest problem I'm having with menopause is hot flashes and the crying, and I just can't stand either one of those. And
That's estrogen.
I don't know that hormone replacement will help. What are you doing over there?
That is literally an estrogen deficiency.
Well, yeah, that's what menopause
There's
is.
a book called The Menopause Life
Okay.
by Dr. Mary Claire Haver. I literally just lent it to my mother-in-law on Sunday. Or I would show it to you. She's
Okay.
also on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. She's amazing.
Okay. Your
Brilliant. She's
mother-in-law or
obviously. I strongly recommend her. I follow her.
your mother-in-law
And I-
or the author of the
No.
book?
The author of the book.
I was gonna say
No.
we've had conversations
I know,
about that.
my darling mother-in-law wanted to follow me on TikTok and all that, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't post anything. Sorry, it's okay. It wouldn't be worth your time.
Okay. Okay, well, so you're a little bit not quite as far along as me, but you're further. Okay, so we've got beginning,
I don't
middle,
have the hot
and
flashes and all of that stuff.
You don't mind them?
No, I don't have them.
Oh, I was gonna say what?
Oh, they sucked ass. Yeah, no.
You don't.
They were well, and I was told that no, you're not in menopause, in perimenopause. You're not at all.
Oh,
what
I
are you
think
talking about?
Lynn, you were told that too, weren't you?
For 10 years. What's that?
You were Lynn. You were also told in the very beginning that you were too young to be going through anything like that, weren't you?
Well, I was told that I am. What did they tell me? That I am having hot waves, not flashes.
What the hell is the difference?
Damn thing.
What is a hot wave?
Because I don't know, because I don't know what a hot flash is either. So because I've never had it apparently, but that's
it's a hot wave.
They told me at this wave. They said it's not intense enough, and it doesn't last long enough to be considered a hot flash. It's more just a heat wave.
So that is a doctor who has not, in the last 10 years, done any research into the new findings of menopause.
Yeah.
That is an old school fool who needs to get his head together.
And you know what's crazy? Because she is like,
or hers.
Maybe
a woman.
Yeah, but they don't teach more than like a chapter on menopause.
Right. She's not a specialist.
So
she's definitely not a specialist.
Even
on
OB-GYNs don't know.
She's a gyno.
Yeah, even OB-GYNs don't know the new
things.
stuff unless they go search it out.
Okay.
It's not taught.
Yeah.
OB-GYNs are the ones who get about 3 chapters worth of, if you're lucky, on menopause. But mostly what they're taught is menopause is hot flashes, lack of estrogen, suck it up, get lost.
And these are women. These are doctors younger than you. Lynn, is your doctor younger than you or older than you? Younger?
Well, she's 56. I'm not quite there yet, but yeah, most of the doctors in the practice are younger, the female ones.
Yep,
that's very interesting.
The OB-GYN that I am forced to see, she is a actual resident.
Oh, okay.
So she's
Enough said.
20s.
Enough said.
Knows nothing.
Enough said.
And told
no,
yeah.
no. Don't get me started on that one. Erin.
She got schooled.
What camera do we? Yeah, I've had those doctors. This now looks like Rena's. See that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on to the next part. Okay, to this we're going to add the honey. Where is my honey? Where's my honey? Hi.
Honey.
And
Honey, where are you?
this is how much honey? This is a 1/4 cup of honey.
Just straight into
the mix. Yeah. This is not a complicated recipe. Okay. Now, technically with this recipe, it does not say that you have to let it rise.
That's silly.
However, we are going to, because I prefer to do it. There's a certain level of satisfaction that I get from letting it grow twice as big.
Oh, this is where you get to deal with some of that hormonal rage because you pump that bitch down.
Again, much like sex. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm hot.
You're hanging out with me. That's your problem. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm drinking tea.
Sorry.
But had I known that this conversation was going to be the way that it is, I would have had something a little stronger.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I'm drinking tea.
Okay. Well.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's all my fault. I know it is.
Okay. So for people who are making this as a challah, because this is a challah recipe as well, put it in the eggs in a glass bowl, and you can check it and make sure that there's no blood or anything in there, and you're good to go. 2 eggs in there. Okay. Get that out of the way. Mix, mix, mix. And
How are your eggs down there? Are they still brutal price?
how are my
or-
eggs? My eggs dried up a long time ago, and they went.
Mine are dust. But I meant your
I'm sorry, Lynn.
purchasing power for eggs, my dear.
You know, I'm Han,
so
but
sorry,
I'm
Lynn.
France.
I
You
really
know,
am.
normally we
Poor
would be
Aaron is just in a fetal,
You are.
the fetal position, rocking back and forth, crying.
No,
at
he's
this point.
used to it. 2 teaspoons of salts.
My mom always said life
Okay.
was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're
Mix,
going to
mix.
get.
Any kind of salt?
It doesn't matter what kind of salt. No. I use just regular table salt.
Yeah, it mixes in better than
Yeah.
like kosher salt or something like that.
Sorry, push it forward. Right there. Okay. And now we're
So are you
going.
folding it in, or are you whipping it,
We're just
whisking it?
no. We're just stirring. Just stirring this until
Just
it's all
stirring,
mixed
okay.
together. And now we're gonna get the sifter. And we're gonna add 2.5 cups of there's a total of 5 3/4 cups of flour here. But to start with, you're gonna do 2.5 cups and mix it until it gets thicker, and then you're gonna start to fold it in. Okay? And then once all that's done, you're gonna add the other 2.5 or the other 3 cups of flour. Okay, so
Okay, so I need to take a half a cup out of this.
I do it a little bit at a time, so I'll do 1 cup and then I'll mix it. So I mix it around. Okay, so you're sort of folding it to start with because it's just going to sit all on top of the liquid. You just want to make sure the bowl stays clean. So you sort of twist it around.
Why do you sift the flour?
Just because it mixes easier and you don't get the lumps. A lot of the time when you add flour all at one time without sifting it, you end up with a bunch of lumps. And it's not
It
easy.
measures better as well because it's not
Yeah.
as tightly compacted, so you're guaranteed every time to have the same amount of
Yeah.
flour.
It's just a really good habit to get into if you're making bread or pastry or something like that. Now, I do this every Friday for the day before before I go to temple. I usually do this, and then we have it at dinner. So it's something that I do that is very relaxing if you just put on your headphones and you just make the bread. It's supposed to be relaxing. Okay, that was 2, right? As long as you don't lose count, you're good to go. Okay, sorry, we're gonna do 3 cups the first time, and then we're gonna add the final 2.5. So this is the 3rd cup I'm putting in now. Okay. What was that?
I had it right the first time.
What happened?
I had it right the first time, and then you said 2.5, so I went and took some out. So now I have to
no.
go back and fetch it.
Oh, you don't have to worry. If you put too much in the first time, don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all going in anyway at pretty much the same time. So now you're starting to fold it in because it's getting thicker. I don't know, Erin, can you show? There you go. So it's getting thicker. Now you're going to start to fold it a little better. Now, I washed my hands before I came in here because we're going to need it in a second. Not yet, because obviously it's a little too soupy. This is a very sticky dough because it's a sweet
What
dough.
about honey?
It's a sweet dough, exactly. So now that's all mixed together. Okay, now we're going to add the rest of the flour. Okay. I don't know why we do that. I don't know why it's done that way. It's kind of weird, but
It's not in the bowl.
I'm just doing what it tells me. So you'll see it getting thicker and thicker and thicker. And then you'll be able to just...
That's what she said.
Can you see that?
What type of flour are you using? Is that self-rising, all-purpose?
All
Is it bread
purpose.
flour? What kind of flour
All
is it?
purpose.
I have Brett flour. Mine is a very local organic one that Phil does her taxes. So I
Phil,
get.
I'm sorry. What
cheap
did you just say? Phil does her for taxes?
does her taxes? Woman.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me
Where's the
today.
beef?
It's the cooking.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the
Telling
beef?
you.
Your hormones are out of...
They are.
Listen.
Well, this is menopause.
I think Aaron has some business he needs to tend to when this is
Yes.
over.
Do you hear that, Aaron?
Well, this is all part of menopause. You know that, right?
hint.
It's kind of funny because the other on Sunday night, the reason we couldn't do a show live is because Aaron and I were at a dinner on the other side of the city, and we were having dinner with two couples that are Canadian. One couple was here from Kelowna, visiting another couple that live here. He's a doctor and she's a nurse, and they used to live in Lake Havasu, and now they're here. We met them about a month ago, and
It's not the
every time I tried to explain to him that I did a podcast called Midlife Mischief, he started laughing because what he was hearing was Midnight Mistress. And I said, no, that's not it. I'm like, that's a totally different show. But no, that's not mine. And then he kept coming up with all these different names, and he just couldn't wrap his head around what it actually was. So now we're gonna start to I don't know if you can see this, right? I don't know how you're gonna be able to see this. When you start to knead it in the bowl, you're gonna take your hand and you're gonna put it underneath and flip it over and then push it. So flip it, push it, flip, push, until you get all the flour that you can from the bottom of the bowl and mix it in. I think this is why I like to make bread, because it gets a lot of your aggression out.
My diet is ruined. I hope you're happy.
Okay, now, I went out today and I bought this silicone mat, which I'm going to try for the very first time today. We're gonna get some of this flour, excuse me. Okay. Now, here's a secret for if you want to get the dough off your hands. Put some flour in your hands and rub them together.
Yeah.
And then it won't stick. Some people say to use oil. I don't use oil. I do it with flour. So now, okay.
I don't think I'm ever getting all of this flour in this dough. Good grief.
Well, some of that flour is going to go onto the board, right?
That is good.
Okay, so now we're going to turn and push. Flip, push. Okay. You're going to knead the dough for about 2 minutes. And I cannot, unfortunately, only do it with one hand because of the thing that we're not allowed to talk about that happened. I've been told I'm not allowed to use my left shoulder. It hurts too much when I do, so the doctor said if it hurts, don't do it. So there you go. So we're gonna knead it. How are the kids, Lynn? How are they doing?
Fucking my nerves.
They're getting on your nerves? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Are they
Yes,
within
ma'am.
earshot?
One of them is.
Hi, Lauren.
See? She knew it was you.
I did. She should be learning to do this. It'll keep her occupied. Give her a skill.
Uh,
How you doing, Rena?
Good.
This-
Good. We're getting there.
Only 2 minutes, so it's not that bad. Once everything is mixed, I think is what you're looking for. Okay.
Yeah, we are not mixed yet.
I really like this mat, by the way. I got this at Walmart for, what did I pay for it? $11.44. No, $10.44 plus tax. And it's 24 inches by, what is that? 18. I think so. It's pretty big. Okay. You're funny. Okay, so I think this is pretty much ready. Now, I'm going to take this. I'm trying to figure out whether I should let it rise in here. I don't know if it will. Rena, what
It's
are you
warm
doing
in
with
here.
yours?
I was going to set mine in a bowl close to my fireplace because my house is not very warm.
Oh, okay. So this is what it should look like when you're ready to...
Is it still really sticky?
Yes, it's not really
Okay.
sticky, but it's a sticky dough, so it'll still be
Well,
sticky.
Mine is still sticking to me. I think I need a little more.
Put some flour on
little
your
more-
hands.
Yeah.
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 Okay. When
Little
you're
dusty
ready
flour
to put it back into the bowl, you're gonna put some olive oil in the bowl. Then you're gonna grab your dough, mix it around on the sides and all the way around, so it's all greased up. A sex show? Yeah, it could be. It's got a lot of innuendos there. There you go. Give it a smack. Give it a spank. Now, we're gonna pause for a second so I can go and put this. I have to put this into the kitchen because there's no way it's gonna rise in here. So I'm gonna put this into the kitchen. But what you want to do is you want to get a cloth and wet it. Wring it out so it's just damp. And if you're doing this in the winter time and you can't put it by a window where it will rise because there's not enough heat coming in, put your oven on the lowest temperature that you have. Mine goes down to, I think, 170. Put your bowl with the damp cloth on it on a cookie sheet and put it in the oven for, depending on how cold it is, probably anywhere from half an hour to an hour. Check on it maybe every 10-15 minutes. If the cloth is dry, get the cloth out, wet it again, and then put the cloth back on, put it back in the oven for maximum about an hour until the dough is doubled in size, and then you're good to go. Huh?
Oh, I'm using the wrong bowl for it to rise double in size.
Oh. Yeah, you don't, the last thing you want is too much yeast in so it just climbs out everywhere.
Those legs, it's a mind of its own.
Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm going to take this into the kitchen. I'm going to wash my hands real quick and put this in to rise for a little bit. And when I come back, we'll sit down and have a little bit of a chat about what's going on with everything else. Okay? Aaron, can you pause it for 2 seconds? We'll be right back. I'm back. Hello. Now I have to clean up the mess that I made. Okay. I'm gonna try and sit down here for a second. How did that go, Rena?
It's over there resting.
It's what?
It's over by the fireplace resting.
Okay.
Warming up, toasting its tootsies.
I would love to do that, but I've always been afraid of what animal will stick their paws into the dough. I never know.
I don't have that worry, so.
No. Lynn's falling asleep on us. Lynn,
No, she's
are you
focusing
still
on
there?
something.
I was checking emails.
Checking emails? Okay.
Anything good?
Anything
No, just
interesting? Just work. Work. Always with the work.
Always.
Always. Gotta pay the bills. I know. Okay.
Stupid bills.
I know. Okay. So, let's see. What else has been going on? We still don't have our trailer back. So Tink is not with us yet. No, which sucks. Because the weather is heating up and I'd really like to go camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Did they
nice.
say why she's not back with you yet?
They haven't finished working on her yet. They've got all the parts, but they haven't finished. They haven't got that far yet, I guess.
They haven't installed said parts.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. The last place had her for 3 months. So, I mean, if they have her only for 2 months, then it's a win, right? It's a win.
It's improving.
It's a win. Okay. There we go. Okay.
How are your
And now-
kids?
Mine? Driving me crazy, same as yours. You know, we've been dealing with, we deal with this thing where, and as a Gen X mom, this is probably what I have the most trouble with, especially going through menopause when my patience is not what it could be. Anxiety. I don't understand. And I want to. I try really hard. But as someone who was raised, I wasn't raised by boomers. I was raised by what are they called? The greatest generation.
Generation Jones, the silent generation.
Well, what age would that be? My parents are 83 and 86 now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it used to be, the greatest generation, but now it's whatever it is. You know, I was the children are to be seen and not heard. If you fall down, you brush it off and you just keep playing. You didn't go running to mommy and daddy when you had hurt feelings, because they would just look at you and ask you why you were telling them that. They didn't really, it didn't mean they didn't love you. It just meant they didn't know what to do with you. Well, now I understand that because I'm at that point where one of my kids is sitting there and they're all sad and mopey and everything, and I ask them what's wrong, and they tell me that they're worried about the future. Okay, well, we all are, but why are you sitting there all upset about it? Like, why are you sitting on my couch all sad? Like, well, I'm just worried about what's going to happen in the future and this and this. And I'm like, okay, and well, then stop worrying about it and get up and go do something. I'm struggling to figure out, Lynn, why are you laughing at me? I'm trying to be a good mom. And I just can't. I feel terrible, but my instinct tells them to shut up, get off the couch, and go and figure things out like I had to. But I can't say that because that's not nice.
That generation is so dramatic.
Oh my God, right?
So dramatic.
Okay, so all three of us have Gen Z kids, and it is. And okay, the millennials drive me crazy with their, I'm just not feeling it today, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take a personal day.
Okay, so millennials are the hippies of their generation. Like they're those love children. You know, they're the ones that are like, kumbaya, can't we all just get along? The world.
But they're also
beautiful.
me.
Well, they were
absolutely.
Yeah.
But Gen Z, they're so
I swear to God.
dramatic.
They should be Gen D. Generation Drama Queens. Gen D.
But here's the problem. Gen Z is fine if they have parents who are a different like if they have millennial parents, cool. Though they can just sort it out. But if you're unfortunate enough to be a Gen Z that has been raised by a Gen Xer, you're screwed because we don't know how to deal with you. And I've talked to so many moms that agree with me, and we just sit there and we're like, I don't know what to tell you. But, I don't know what to do. Well, you know what?
Wow.
I left home in 18, so I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
But didn't we make them that way? Like, aren't we the problem? Because they're our kids.
I know, but
we didn't raise them the way our parents raised us. We did not. Like, Gen Z is not raised the way Gen X was raised.
I think
so
we could be, but here's the thing. Like, I was raised with wait till your father comes home, and you know the belt would come off, and I mean that was only when I was little. It wasn't, you know, when I was older, but it was still, you know, I think we were the last generation to be smacked a lot when we got into trouble. And then along came Dr. Spock, and he is my nemesis. Can't stand what he did, and he is the one who is responsible for the generation after us. The ones who don't say no to your child because you'll stifle their creativity, and let your child just be free and explore their exactly.
Everybody.
So what we did when we had children, and this is where, Lynn, you're right, we didn't want to raise them that way because we grew up with those kids. Like we babysat those kids, and those kids we wanted to drop kick. So we didn't want to have those kids. But at the same time, I knew what it was like to have my butt smacked, and it didn't work. It did not work. Spanking me did not work. All it did was show me that you're bigger than me and that what you say goes, but you never really explained why. So what Gen X did was, when they were really small, we did the pat on the bum and we smacked them when they did something like to get their attention, like stop.
The fingers don't stick it in a light socket thing. Yeah.
But we didn't take off our belts and spank. I mean, at least we didn't. We didn't take off our belt and spank them. We tried to teach them to communicate. And I think we screwed that up. I think we did. Because maybe...
So, I mean...
It's not all us raising them, because they are raised on the internet. They're
exactly.
In the school.
I have to say that my older two are different. My older two, they got their butts tore up. Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yes, they did on a regular basis, because we were of the generation that, you know, spoiled the rod, spare the rod, spoil the child type mentality.
Yes.
However, the older two are a lot more respectful. I get this all the time. Ever since they were little and they would leave my house, people would always tell me how respectful my children are.
Right.
How they just kind of stand out because they're just such kind-hearted, really good, respectful young men, right? But we taught them that you get out of line, you got in trouble for getting out of line at home.
Consequences.
Every single time. And I didn't have my mom, I didn't get spankings.
Okay.
I didn't get spankings.
Okay.
My siblings did.
Okay.
I'm the youngest.
Well, you're the
You're okay. I get that.
Siblings
Okay.
spanked you. Your siblings kept you in line.
Okay. I get that.
Well, no, because you know what? Actually, I stayed on restriction. My parents would take my things and put me on restriction.
Okay.
You can't have your phone. You can't go out, on the weekend. You can't do anything. You have to stay in your room and just be there. Right. So that was the difference. My husband, his family didn't do restrictions. They beat their tail and then moved on. So with the older two, they got a little bit of both worlds.
Right.
But these other two, these younger ones. So
how come you changed it? Why did you change it?
I'm too old for this. I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Okay. How old were you when you had the oldest two? How old were you when you had the first two? Because yours are spaced.
31 and 33.
Okay. So I was 30, 31, and 33. Yeah, same as you. Okay.
Yeah.
For the first
these
three.
Two here, it was like 41 and 43. Something like that.
Okay,
Big difference.
There. That's it right there. Now, but when I say that I didn't spank my kids, that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that my kids got away with anything. My house was run like a military operation because it was just me and 4 little kids. So for me, it was more psychological warfare. Like I had to be, you laugh, but I'm serious. I had to figure out, okay, if I'm not going to spank them, I can't just let them do whatever they want because that's crazy. Right. What the hell do I do? Like there has to be some other way. And the only other way I could figure out was, and you have to remember, I was doing this on my own. I didn't have family to step in. I didn't have anybody helping me. It was me. So for me, it was like a game of Survivor every freaking day. Because if I let one thing slip, my day would be a nightmare. Now, you also have to remember, I had a 3.5-year-old, 2.5-year-olds, and a baby when I was trying to teach the toddlers right from wrong when they were very, very small. So yes, they would get a little pat on the butt when they didn't listen. But for the most part, it was psychological warfare. And you can ask Tegan to this day, she still looks at me sideways when I ask her where her stuffed bear is. She's like, why? Why do you need it? Why? Because I had to figure out what the most important thing was to each child. And that's what I used for discipline. And it might sound terrible, and people can, please don't call anybody. It's okay. They are all fine. But with Tegan, she was a little precocious, that one. And for example, if I said it was bedtime, she would say no. I would say, excuse me? No. Tegan, I said go to your room. It's bedtime. No. Okay, Tegan, if I have to ask you one more time to go to your room and get ready for bed, I am going to come in there and I will take your bear. And if I have to take that bear, I will hang him in the closet with the coat. Do you understand me? And she'd look at me and she'd say, yes, Mommy. And she'd go to her room. But then she'd come out again. I'd say, Tegan, what did I say? And she'd just stand there looking at me. And so I'm counting to 3. 1, 2. I get to 2, and she'd run. I said, no, it's too late. And I would go, give me the bear. No, give me the bear. But I'm in my room. It doesn't matter. You didn't listen. And there are consequences because I taught them it's your choice. I'm giving you a choice. And this is how life works. You will always have choices. You chose not to listen. Give me the bear. And so she would reluctantly hand over the bear. And then I would have to go and she would follow me. And she'd follow me down the hallway to the front closet while I got a hanger out, and I would put the hanger around the bear's ears, and I would stick them up there and hang them in the closet and close the door. And she'd cry and cry, but she'd go to her room. The next time I would say, Tegan, and she wouldn't do it again, and I would tell her, if you don't do this, this is what I'm going to do. And you never, ever promise something you can't follow through. So no matter what I did, I always had to think calmly and think one step ahead. If I say this, I'm going to have to do it. Do I really want to do that? No. Okay, so I can throw the bear out in the snow. I could do that. That would be okay. I can't throw it on the street because a car might run over it, and that would be bad. But I can throw it in the street, in the snow, in the backyard. I always had to think, what am I going to threaten that I can do that I'm not gonna, it's not gonna do any psychological damage or it's not going to hurt anybody. So these are the things I had to do. With the twins, it was way more difficult because for the life of me, I could not figure out what was so important to them. It just didn't seem like anything mattered.
Yeah.
Until
That's
I figured.
my Aaron. That's my Aaron.
Until I figured it out, and you know what it was? It was each other.
Mm-hmm.
So all I had to do was threaten. Lynn, are you still there? Lynn?
I am.
Oh. All I had to do was threaten to take one of them away from the other, to separate them, and they would behave. Until they got older, and then it was video games. And then I would say, okay, well, if you don't go up to your room and you don't go to bed, I'm going to take your Wii, and I'm going to put it at the end of the street, and the next person who drives past can take it. And there were a few times when we had to do it, didn't we, Aaron? So we'd have Aaron would be looking out the front window because he's watching. He's like, Jesus, I hope nobody stops. I hope nobody stops. I hope nobody stops. Because I actually had to take the Wii and put it at the end of the driveway and then hope and pray to God that nobody was going to stop and take it because I had to. I had said that was what I was going to do and that's what I had to do. And they called my bluff. So the older they got, the more they would call my bluff. So I had to keep doing it and I had to keep upping it and psychological warfare. I don't know what I do now. I think now I just have to say, well, okay, maybe I threaten to throw them out of the house. That won't work because I don't want them out of the house. But so, I mean, there are other ways to do it. But you know what? Yeah. I never had any problems in restaurants. I never had any problems when we went shopping. My kids never had temper tantrums. Never. I never had any of those problems.
I don't have the discipline. I don't have the discipline to do that. I don't have the discipline to follow through on that level. Like, I need to get it over with. I need to just get it over with. Like, look, if you don't do it, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to knock you out. We'll move on. And then that's it. I don't have time to play with their minds and make sure that it's just too much for me. Now, my husband, on the other hand, he can do all that stuff. But me, let's get this done. But they do understand that if you get me to that point where I feel like I have to go there, then you really cross some lines, right?
Yeah.
And if I have to take something from them, I don't take it for short times. I will take it for like Ryan was without his Xbox for almost a year. It was
almost a year.
How did you survive that?
In the beginning, it was a little rough because he was all up under me all the time. But then after a while, it became, I did other things to make him stay busy, and it just became second nature. He was always in the same room with me watching television or whatever. And so it just became second nature. And I think at some point I may have forgotten that I took it or something, because I don't know. But he ended up getting it back at Christmas. So he ended up getting it back at Christmas, and he's been a happy camper ever since. But I don't have that short term thing of like take it for a little while and then give it back. I fail at that every single time, and they know that I'm gonna fail at it. They know this already.
Yeah,
they know, they already know it. So they're like, okay, yeah, whatever. She'll take it for a little while.
They'll take advantage of you.
Yeah.
I would take something
she'll
and
get tired and then she'll give it back.
An hour later.
See, my kids knew after a while that mommy's not playing. Mommy's not playing. If mommy said she's going to do something, she's going to do it. Yeah.
You were hanging the bear. Like you were.
I punted it like a football past her window one night and made her stand and watch that bear go past the window. If you came over to my house at nighttime, the front door could open and a bear would come flying out the window at you, out the front door at you, and you'd have to duck. And you always knew coming over to our house that Tegan had done something she wasn't supposed to do, because you would see Heathrow either stuffed in a drawer or hanging by his foot on the front post, or it just depended whatever I could come up with really quick, but I had to do it because that was the only alternative for me other than, getting a fly swatter and slapping them like my mom used to, I just know for me personally, spanking them never, when my parents spanked me, it never worked. I never learned what I was supposed to learn. I would just, it really didn't. Yeah, it didn't.
You know what? It worked for me, and it worked for the older two.
Okay. So
it worked for me, and it worked for my older two.
Okay.
They even now they are like calling for us to go back and spank these younger ones because they feel like, why are you not disciplining them like you did us? Like, they're going to be horrible little kids if you don't, do this. And I'm like, we're tired. We're old.
You wore us out.
We don't have the stamina, the energy. We're tired. We're tired. And so we have to find a different way.
Is that why, when my parents had grandchildren, I'll sit and watch them and they let the kids do whatever they want to do. And I sit and I watch, and I'm like, tired. Wait a minute. You never did that. Yep. If I had done that when I was little, you would have kicked my backside.
My mom never changed.
They're too, but they say the same thing. We're too old.
Were fat. My brother-in-law's kids, they beat mine.
Oh.
What?
I don't think my mother-in-law liked boys.
Oh.
She had 3. I don't think she likes boys because her precious darling girlies that my brother-in-law has.
Oh, so she only likes girls.
Nothing. No peeps for the boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. So they're shocked when like Sunday they come over and Aiden didn't even come down.
Well,
Riley walked past them without even looking at them like. And she tried to all of a sudden tried to engage him in conversation because we have no relationship and I'm going to be gone soon.
Yeah, that's the problem. Okay? Sooner or later, it does come back and bite you in the ass. Yeah, I get that.
It does.
Yeah, you crap on somebody for long enough, they no longer care about you.
Yeah, but that's not on you, and that's not on them. That was, like I said, that's a choice. That is a choice that was made, And now the person making the choice has to live with that consequence. And unfortunately, in your case, that consequence is she's got 2 grandchildren that, you know, she doesn't have a relationship with because they're now old enough that they understand. And that's something that happens, and, you know, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to go check on my bread. So, Aaron, do you want to pause it again for 2 seconds, and we'll do some TV magic, and I will go check. I'll be right back.
We're going to have to get some commercials so we can do more segments like this.
Yes.
Right?
That would be perfect.
I'm back. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, can we see this? So
nice.
Normally I let it rise a little bit more till it's all the way up, but it doesn't matter with this one. So we're gonna punch it.
I'll grab mine.
And then we're going to get it. Punch it a little. Ugh. And then we're going to get it out again.
Nice.
There we go. Now, so this is what it should look like. Okay. Now, normally I have a big knife that I use to cut it, but I didn't bring it in, so we're just going to try and do it this way. Okay, we're going to put
Does
this...
Tegan bake?
No. Tegan is afraid of the stove because we have a gas stove, and she's afraid of the flame. So she gets her brothers to do everything for her. She's not stupid. If she wants something...
So which one bakes?
Sasha bakes the most, and Delaney is the one who usually cooks for everybody else other than me.
Nice.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do a challah, just so I can show it. So if anybody's watching that wants to do that, you can do that. So you get a piece that's about this big, and you're going to squeeze it into 3 pieces. We're going to make a braid, okay? Try and get 3 equal pieces if you can. That looks about right. Okay. We're just going to roll it into a long cylinder type of deal. I've never used this mat before for this, so it's a little slippy.
A damp towel underneath would have been good.
That might. I've got some painter's tape here that might work. There. That'll work. Okay. Now, I usually do it about that long. What'd you say, honey? Yeah. I know. Lynn's going to go to sleep in a second. There's a lot of air bubbles in it, so you want to either roll it out or just squeeze it around a little bit. Once again, Aaron, stop laughing. Okay. Usually.
Does it work when it's long and skinny like that?
Not when it's like this. No. It doesn't work so good when it's like this.
Yeah, they have little blue pills for that. You can order them online.
Sorry, Lynn. I'm sorry. Is it too late for that?
No, actually. No, it's not.
We're good? Okay. I do this one again. It's not easy to do when there's...
Listen, we've said worse.
Well, it is what it is, right? Okay. Now, so you're going to make it, I don't know if you can, there. Okay, so now we're just going to braid it real quick.
Oh, okay.
It's not hard to braid. I mean, and then just sort of grab the end like this, pinch it, and then fold it under like that. And then really carefully undo this end and do it almost backwards, I guess. Yeah, backwards. So it doesn't look very long, but it'll work. Right? Right, honey? And you're going to just get some parchment paper. Put it on a cookie sheet. I have a fan here, so it's kind of going everywhere. And then just put it there. Now, hopefully that will rise a little bit. Hang on. It's coming undone. No. There. Okay. Now, if you want to do buns, this is what we're going to do. Because any other day other than a Friday, I will do buns. It's so much easier.
Do you bake every week? How often do you bake?
I will do this recipe a couple times a week, actually. So, I'm going to get some of the air out. Just squeeze it around. Okay. You want to try and get as even size as you want. What? You want to try and get the size as even as you can. About that big. Now, flatten it in your hand a little bit like this, and then just grab the outsides and pinch. Turn it and pinch. Pinch, grab, pinch, pinch, pinch. So it looks like that. Okay? There's one. Get the air out. Grab it, pinch, 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 pinch. There's another one. So again, you get faster as you go along, but you just sort of pinch everything. There's another one. Gets rid of a lot of frustration, a lot of irritation. How's it going there, Rena? You doing it okay?
We're making little pinchies.
So they look like little mushrooms kind of when you first start, just little bubbles. They will rise. Now, I don't know how well it's going to rise here in the studio, but Rena, yours is probably going to rise better than mine. Rena, you want to put your oven on to 350 and preheat it while you're doing this?
350?
350.
I did 395 because 200 degrees Celsius on my phone came out to 392.
350. Trust me on this one. 350.
Okay. Now I got to open her up and cool her down.
Okay. Another one.
How many can you get out of this?
This one you can get probably a good 4 dozen, maybe even more, depending on how small. Now, these make really, really good hamburger buns. And with the price of, if you go to Costco and you get a big bottle of olive oil and a big bottle of honey and a big bag of flour, hand to God, once you've learned how to do this, you will never buy another hot dog bun or another hamburger bun ever. These taste way better. And they're once you figure out how to do it, you can do it fairly quickly. Like I'll do one here. This is bigger. And this will turn into a hamburger sized bun that size. Okay, because it'll expand and it'll get a lot bigger. Or a hot dog bun, just do a cylinder type of thing like that. And it'll get bigger. So that's a little big for... So you could get Lauren to do this for you if you wanted. I mean, it's not hard. Just pinch it. Keep pinching it, turn it, pinch it, turn it, pinch it. And I've done this for if I go to someone's house for dinner. I'll do that. I'll do a baker's dozen, and I'll take them over for dinner. I think you could probably even use these as donuts if you deep fry them in an oil or put them in your air fryer. I haven't tried it yet. I'll let you know. I've got an air fryer. I should try that. See, this is even expanding as it's sitting here. It's like it's trying to escape.
So, can you freeze the dough?
Yes, you can.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
From this point right here. From this point right here, you wrap it in tin foil, and then put it in like a Ziploc bag, and you can freeze it. So yes, you can. When I make this on a Friday, I can make 4 challah loaves and half a dozen buns, or 2 challah and maybe 2 dozen buns. So it makes a lot. So
That guy's too little and this guy's too big.
I need to do another sheet here. So you can make them whatever size you want, Rena. You don't have to make them so small. I'm making them this small because they do rise a lot once you get them into the oven. So they will end up a lot bigger than what you think they will. What happened, honey? That's where you're supposed to do. That's what she said. I need this. Okay. So what are your
How many are you putting on a sheet?
A dozen. 2, 4, 6, no, 8, sorry. I've got 8 on a sheet.
Oh, I don't have enough sheets for that.
Or you can put them in a loaf pan as well. You can make a loaf of bread if you like. I might do that with this
So
last
this
one.
recipe is good for loaf bread too.
Yes. It's a little bit sweet. This recipe is a sweet bread, so it'll be a little bit sweet, but kids usually like it. It's really good with peanut butter and honey. When I make this, it only lasts in my house probably a day. It'll be gone. Like this will all be mostly gone by the time I get up in the morning because my kids will just eat it. So
I bet it makes the house smell good when it's baking.
it does, and it's kind of funny because I've done this before when we've been doing. We've had other people in the studio doing a podcast, and they'll come in the house to use the bathroom just so they can see what I'm doing because they can smell it. And then I've had to bring in. I have to bring in some of the buns for people. I took these over to somebody last week because we went over to their house and I wanted to say thank you for something that they'd done for us. And I didn't want to take a bottle of wine because that's too predictable. So I made some of these. I took over a dozen, baker's dozen. and they were gone. They were gone before we left. Like they sat down and just ate them. Yeah. So they don't. It won't last long. So it looks like a lot of bread, but it's really not. And you can freeze it once you've done it too. Like if you've done the buns, you can put them in the freezer.
So when you take them out to thaw, do you have to let them thaw completely, or can you put them in the oven while they're somewhat frozen?
That's a good question. I would probably let them thaw. Like are you thinking of making the buns and putting the buns in the freezer?
Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what the best way to do it, because I know I've had it where the dough, once it starts to thaw, it gets wet.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of sticky all over again, and it's kind of like it doesn't do well.
Defrost with paper towels.
Huh?
Defrost with paper towels. Because that will.
So,
I do when I put a loaf of bread in the freezer, I put a paper towel in it. So when I pull it out, it defrosts onto that. Could you try something like that?
You could also, yeah, and then knead it. Give it a quick, like just knead it a little bit and
Quick knead, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna let these sit. Might do another. Okay. How's it going over there, Rena? Are you good?
Good. I'm good. Still have a big honk left.
It's a lot of dough, right? I mean.
Yeah, I didn't. But then I figured with 5 3/4 cups of flour, that would.
It would be, yeah, it's a lot. But it, like I said, it doesn't last very long. And most people are not going to make it a couple times a week like I do. They'll just make it once a week. But with the
you also have 5 people or 6 people in your house.
Well, Aaron can't eat it. But with the cost of bread and the cost of, if you want to have dinner rolls or you want to have hamburgers or you want to have hot dogs, it's so expensive now that this is just so much cheaper. And it's really it's not something that's difficult to do. It's quite easy to do. It's a little time consuming, but once you've done it, it's done. I mean, and then once it comes out of the oven, we're gonna put a honey glaze on it. So it's a sweet bread. It actually tastes like a donut. So good.
Yum.
Can you use the same recipe but leave out the honey?
No. No, you can't.
So how would you make a bread that isn't sweet? Is that a totally different recipe?
Yeah, totally. I can give you if you watch this back and you figure out, you learn how to do this, then there's other recipes. I mean, just go onto Pinterest and look for another, just look on Pinterest for here. So you're going to look at all of these. So once you watch the video on how to do this, because this is a very simple recipe, but if you have Pinterest, you can do just about any kind of bread once you've done this one. Like once you've learned how to do this, it doesn't matter what the ingredients are. Like for example, for this one, you could roll it out flat, and then you can get a pastry brush, melt some chocolate, and paint the dough with chocolate, put some little sprinkles or something on it, roll it up, and bake it. You can slice it and then bake it like pinwheels. So this dough, you can do just about anything with it. Once you've figured this dough out.
Cinnamon bun dough?
Yes, you can do that as well with this dough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on a Saturday night, if you want to have cinnamon rolls for brunch on Sunday, make the dough. You can make these and have them in the fridge and ready to just put in the oven first thing Sunday morning. Like, do it before you go to bed, have it all cut up and on a cookie sheet, put it in the fridge, and then when you get up on Sunday morning, just put it straight into the oven. And the way you would do that would be, you just take the dough like this, and then you're gonna I don't have a rolling pin, but you'd basically just flatten it all out, and then put butter all over it, and then cinnamon, and then a little bit of sugar, roll it up, and then slice it. Take the slices, put those on the cookie sheet like we've done here, and there you go. You're good to go. Because it's a sweet dough. Now, I haven't started messing around with the sourdough trend that's going on right now. I'm not interested in that, but you could try that too. I mean, that would, if you like sourdough. I'm not a fan of sourdough. It's too crunchy. Now, you can also put an egg wash. With this recipe, it does call for an egg wash before you put it in the oven. I don't do that because I don't like it when it's hard on the outside. Because the bread doesn't last as long. That's just what I've found. So if you don't put the egg wash on, the crust is a little bit softer and it will last longer. But if you put the egg wash on, you're going to end up with a crust on the outside, soft on the inside, which is great for some people. Love it, but it doesn't last very long, and it gets really hard really quickly. You're not going to say anything to that, honey? No? Okay. You too tired? I do another holla here, so. You good there, Rena?
I'm good. I'm just trying to figure. They is a growing over here.
Yeah.
I'm making myself some more pans. So all that chitty chat about the growing and the knots and the up and the down.
You know what? You know what? These buns are really, really good if you have soup or you have spaghetti. Oh, we had spaghetti the other night, and we had these with our spaghetti, and they were so good. I kind of miss having Robert and David calling in, though, making the comments.
No.
No.
Have you noticed? I thought about it, Lynn. The only people that comment and try and stir up the crap is usually the men who are watching the podcast.
Yeah. Because they're aspired, it's not about them.
Yeah.
There's a space for women. Why is it not about men and what men want?
But they should be watching because they're both married. They both have wives that are going to be going through perimenopause soon.
Much like my husband, they don't care.
Doesn't affect them. If it doesn't affect them, they're not interested. I know.
But they have to live with this. It affects them. They just haven't figured that out yet.
Does me being in menopause affect you, Aaron? Nope. Bullshit. Nice try, though. I love you.
Liar.
He's a liar.
Love you,
Aaron. Aaron has a hard time when I... this week has been a little tricky for me because I've been having some of the... I don't know what you call it. I didn't have a lot of mood swings when I had PMS. but I'm starting to discover that I have them now. And I apologize to anybody who's around me. I can't help it. And that's something that I think Aaron needs. I know, Lynn, you were saying that your husband is having a hard time understanding it too. Aaron has a hard time understanding it sometimes. My boys have a hard time understanding it. I have a hard time understanding it.
Tell them you're in your man era. What they don't understand is that is driven by testosterone.
Yes, but
Women's
when I don't understand,
make more testosterone than men.
I know, but when I don't understand it, it's very difficult for them to understand it because they seem to think that I'm doing this on purpose. I'm just being a bitch. I'm not.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I know it's happening. I know in my head that I'm doing it and I'm being difficult. I get that. But telling me to calm down or just relax is not going to make me do either one of those two things, because if I could control it, do you really think that I would choose to behave that way? I wouldn't.
You know what I
No. Never in the history of calming down has anyone ever calmed down by being told to calm down.
This is what I do. Hey, Rena,
Man.
What do you do,
I just go
honey?
on strike.
what do I do?
I just go on strike. Like,
Exactly. That's what I do.
That's what I do.
like lately, when I don't even try to explain it no more. I'm tired of trying to explain.
Yep.
They don't want to
my
understand.
moods and my
If
emotions.
you've explained,
And
they
if you
don't
say or
understand.
do something that you already know is gonna piss me off or anger me, I just walk away.
Yeah.
It's safer and better for everybody involved if you're not gonna walk away and if you're not going to, put a stop to my mood swing, then I'm just gonna walk away and deal with it on my own. And that's what
That
I've
is
been
an
doing.
act of self-care.
Yeah, I just, you know what? I don't care what I'm in the middle of doing. I can be in the middle of cooking a full meal. I will turn everything off, grab my keys, grab my purse, and walk out the door.
Yeah.
It's self-preservation at this point. It's self-preservation because, there's nothing else to do other than stand there and scream your head off. And for what reason?
Yeah.
So, I just walk away. I strike. I don't cook. I don't clean. I don't talk to anybody. I just
done
walk
with
away.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we oven these now?
Yes. Now we're gonna. If you want to put an egg wash on them, you can. I don't. Like I said, I don't, and I don't think. I think it tastes better with just the honey wash, the honey glaze that we'll do when it's out.
Even better too if we don't put a barrier.
Exactly. So now we're just gonna put it in the oven for 15 minutes, and that's all it's gonna take. So Aaron, you want to pause it one more time, and I'll put this in. Huh?
Only 15 minutes?
Yep. That's all it takes. 15 minutes, and we will have beautiful buns. Aaron, when you pause this, can you help me? I can't do this all by myself. I'll be right back. I was going to say we can wait
That was
a minute.
quick.
I got to set need an alarm. Okay, there we go.
Girl, I have so many buns I have to do 2 batches.
Well, it's a big batch, but it's
That's
like I
awesome.
said, it's supposed to be. It's also a challah recipe, so I believe you're supposed to get 2 loaves and then all of the buns at the same time. So, but it's been adapted for a regular recipe. So, but wait until you try them. I'm really sad that Lynn doesn't get to try them though. I think
know when I make some. I'm gonna make some this weekend.
They'll be great for Easter. And you technically don't need them to rise or proof like we did. Like once you've mixed everything, you can just go from that stage to making the buns and putting them straight in the oven. You don't have to let it proof. I do that because it gives me a break and I can sit down for a minute, and it also makes more dough. So it just depends. They will rise in the oven. That's the only thing. And I don't know how much they will rise in the oven. I've never done it. So I'm assuming they will expand a lot in the oven if you don't proof them. Whereas if you proof them, they'll still rise in the oven, but not as much. So it's a little bit easier to gauge how many you're going to make if you let it proof. Plus, if you're busy and you let it proof, you can make whatever else you're making at the same time. So it's something you can do. You can make the dough, and then you can cook your dinner, and then you can put your buns in the oven, and everything gets all done at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Then you have buns with your supper.
Exactly.
Like that a lot.
Yes. With chili or with soup, super good. Now I want pea soup. Now I want pea soup.
Doesn't the bottom of your stove have a proofing drawer?
It's supposed to, but I don't. But it's only this big. Like the drawer is only this big.
Height, yeah.
So I don't think I could fit the bowl in there. Mine's more of a plate warmer kind of drawer. You know what I mean? It's not really good for proofing. It's more for warming plates. Or in my case, it's empty. It's empty. And
we put dishes in it.
I used to until I learned that what it was actually for. And then I stopped putting dishes in it, but I've never used it for what I'm supposed to use it for.
That's where all of the muffin tins and the cookie sheet, all that goes in there.
It should be.
I've never used it for anything else.
No.
It should be. I don't know. I didn't even know that's what it was. I didn't know it was a proofing drawer or a plate warmer. Until.
How do you make it get that warm though? Because mine doesn't.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, don't you have to still turn the oven on?
In the middle of having the oven on, and it does not warm. It's not warm.
I don't know.
Really?
It should. It should. I don't know why. Maybe you need to talk to somebody about your oven. I don't know.
It's a rental. I don't care.
Oh, you know the dishwasher that I told you both what happened to me, so you both are aware of what happened 2 weeks ago. Well, we installed the dishwasher that we bought. Well, we didn't. We had someone else did it because we couldn't. Aaron was not able to climb in and twist and everything. Anyway, I didn't know when I bought my dishwasher that it's musical.
Oh, yeah, my new one sings too.
It sings. The only problem is it sings. I put it on at nighttime before I go to bed, and it sings 2 hours later because there's a button that's for nighttime, and so it goes extra quiet except at night when it's done, and then you wake up to this lovely musical thing coming out of the kitchen, like fairies or something.
And then mine, the door opens. It doesn't heat, so it ding-diddlings when it's done, and then the door opens.
Shut up.
And I don't know how to make it not do that.
Wait a minute. Wait, your dishwasher. When your dishwasher is done working, it opens the door.
Opens and the door pops down. Yeah.
And are there fairies or little gnomes that come running out of the cupboards and empty the dishes for you?
Sweet Jesus, I wish.
Wouldn't that be
No,
fabulous?
I have my 200 plus pound. The Bubba's supposed to get that done before 4 o'clock, and he never does.
So you wake up in the morning and you walk into your kitchen and the dishwasher's open?
Yeah, except for it generally finishes right before Phil gets up. So Phil gets up, comes down, and closes it while it's all still wet.
He doesn't
then it
empty
just
it?
sits there.
He doesn't empty it?
Are you kidding me? Does he know where anything in this house goes? We've only lived here 12 years.
That's exactly what I said to him the other day when he's looking for something. And I said to him, how long have you lived here for? Everything has always been in the exact same. I have not moved anything. It's been in the same place the entire time.
Yeah.
Why are you opening and closing and looking for things when you should know exactly where everything is?
When we moved in here, the very first thing I did was put my mom's beautiful glass bowl on the counter, close to the door, for the keys. It's the key bowl.
Itch.
Suddenly, 4 years ago, Phil doesn't know where keys go.
Lynn, just for
he
context,
insisted I put a row of command hooks up on the wall over top of the bowl where he dumps all of the junk from his pockets until it overflows and literally falls on the floor. But continues to put that's my wallet bowl.
Erin, can you move some of the stuff so Kendra can sit down? Hi, Kendra. What happened to your hair?
What? It grew.
Oh my God, Kendra just walked in. Lynn, for context, Rena's husband is our accountant. Okay. He does because he does. We file taxes.
He's great with everybody else's stuff but ours
and mine. That's not true. He's a great accountant for us. Well, I do have questions about my mother-in-law's taxes, but that's none of my business, so I'm not going to ask.
I don't know if he'll tell you.
I know. I got an itch. Do you guys have itchy skin? Because that part of menopause is really starting to piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a shower. I just get itchy.
Yeah. It's insanity in the nerve endings.
Anyway, because we file taxes in 2 different countries, and Rena's husband is also American. He's dual. He is now learning to do our taxes here in the U.S. for us. So we just send everything to him, and he does everything, and there you go. So We've known each other for a very long time. Couple businesses. Yeah. More than one business. Yeah. So they've been there. They know all the ups and downs and all of the secrets of all the things that we do financially. So
no, I know nothing. Nope.
I know nothing either. I just give it to him.
I know nothing. I refuse to. Not that he would ever mention anything, but no.
Yeah.
Not my business. That is your business.
Well, yeah, that is. Is there somebody standing on the street outside? What is that? Are they peeing? Creepy. Are they peeing on the bush? I think there's somebody standing in our driveway peeing on our bush.
I think it's a dog.
The dog? Did he pick up the mess? You know, when they make security cameras, you know what they need to do? They need to make an intercom on the inside so that when I see that, I can press a button and I can yell at people outside. That's where I am in menopause. I am that get off my lawn old man kind of. That's the phase I am now going through, is the grumpy old man phase. I'm not a grumpy old lady. I'm a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
My husband loves that feature. We have that feature.
You have that?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to upgrade.
So I don't use it.
You don't?
My husband uses it. I don't use it.
You should use it, Lynn. You should learn to use it.
For one, I don't like anybody knowing.
You need a voice changer so your voice comes out as a man. Because then
that would be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that if you can see my car in the driveway, you can see, me walking through the house. I won't open my door if I didn't invite you to come over, or if you didn't tell me you were coming. I will not open my door. I will not open the door.
Seriously?
And people are always like, and I've had family members sit in their car in the driveway and say, "Are you home?" "Yep, I sure am. But you didn't tell me you're coming over. I didn't invite you to my house."
Is not open right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, my husband makes sure that our door is unlocked so that people can just walk in.
You're like that too?
You know, you've heard of Brian Ostrander?
No.
Raquel?
No.
Phil's buddy Brian?
Okay.
He just walks into my house now whenever he feels like it.
Well,
His parents just randomly walk in.
Well, because we live in the city, we have a front gate at the beginning of, like, not at the end of the driveway, but at the
gated courtyard.
Yeah. There's like a hallway between the doorbell and the front door, and there's a gate right at where the doorbell is. So people can't just walk in. But I am one of those people where don't wait for me to invite you over, because I never will. I won't invite you. But if you're in the neighborhood and my car is in the driveway, yes, you can stop by. I don't have is that weird? Is that weird? Am I the only one who does that? Is that why nobody ever comes over?
People know that.
It's friendly.
But if it's just random,
weird. You have an open door policy.
I do.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am just
you've
not
let
that
people
person.
know that. That's the difference.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I think we've always had that, and there was a point where people would take advantage of it, and people would show up at like 11 o'clock at night, and that's not okay. Then you have to ask. If we invite you over at 11 o'clock at night, that's cool. If it's the middle of summer and the side gate is open and we're in the pool and you can hear us, that's fine. But yeah, we did have to change that a little bit, but I don't invite people over unless you're coming over for dinner. If you're coming for dinner, I'll invite you. Like, don't show up at my house for dinner. I'm a good cook, but don't show up for dinner and say, "Hey, what's for dinner?"
I need pre-warning to have enough. You live in a house full of dudes.
Most people.
I have neighbors that just kind of stop by and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm just like, I get so upset when the kids or Renard goes to the door and they're like, "Oh, so and so's at the door for you." I get so mad. I don't want any company.
Huh.
I don't like it when people drop in. I don't like the drop in. I don't care if you live across the street. You live across the street.
That's where
Call
you live.
me on the
Stay
phone.
there.
Talk to me. Yeah. You come into my house.
Have you always been that way, or is this new?
No, I think I've always been this way. Honestly, when I was growing up, I was that kid that my mom was a teacher. And so she didn't appreciate coming home from work after being with, 100 plus kids all day long to the neighborhood kids being at the house. She was like, I don't want any kids at my house after work, right? So I think I kind of grew up with just not having people at the house unless you were specifically invited to come for a specific reason. Otherwise, no, you just don't drop in. Yep. And I don't drop into other people's houses either. I never go visiting.
No.
I don't do it to other people, but I don't think it's a very American thing. I think it might be more of a Canadian thing. Because I don't know anyone else who does it. But it's
a very southern thing.
My mother-in-law is American.
We always grew up, and now, I mean, it could be an Australian thing, though, because my mom she never cared if people stopped by. And as kids, we used to hope that people would stop by, because if there were people stopping by, it meant mom was distracted, and we wouldn't have to do all our chores. So my mom was one of those who always said she had 4 kids for a reason. She had one for the dishes, one for the the laundry, one for the weeding, and one for the bathrooms. So she never had to do any of the stuff. So if and this is why I hate gardening, because I would spend my weekends as a child weeding the garden, and my mom had she had everything landscaped, and we were the gardeners. We had to weed the garden and we had to look after it. But if people stopped by unannounced, then we wouldn't have to do it, because she didn't want people to see her kids working in the garden and all messy and everything. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But she always said that, I'll just put some more water in the soup, or I'll put some more vegetables in the stew. It doesn't matter. Come on in. Have you eaten? And she would feed people. So I think that's where I got it from. I don't know. Are you eating the bread?
Mm-mm.
What are you eating? You can't eat yet, Rena. The bread's almost done. What are you doing?
Girl, it's 9:00 at night and I haven't eaten yet.
I know, but there's only 1 minute till the bread's done. You can't wait 1 minute? You can't
I can wait 1 minute now that I've had one of these, yes.
Okay, and on that note, I'm gonna go check on the bread. And then I'm going to bring it in here. I'm going to bring a couple in here, and we'll glaze them, and we'll eat them while we're saying goodbye. I'll be right back again. Aaron's going to have to do some editing on this one, I think. Hello. Here you go. This is, okay. So, this one.
Ooh, pretty.
This is the challah. Okay. Now, the honey glaze is, you don't have to measure it exactly, but it has to be equal parts water, equal parts honey. Stick it in the microwave, mix it up, get a little paintbrush, and just put it on there. Okay. Makes it nice and shiny and makes it kind of sweet. So that's the challah. And then you do the same thing with the buns. Just paint them. Herd. I wonder if you could dip it. Could you dip it? Or would that be too much, you think? Too much honey?
Personal taste?
Personal, yeah. I mean, if you have them when they're warm, you can open them up and put some butter on them and then put more honey, I suppose. But you don't have to. But you do have to put the glaze on while they're still hot. Sorry, that's what I was doing in the kitchen. I had to put the glaze on the other ones so I could leave them in the kitchen. I didn't want to bring all of them back in here, so... There we go. You got yours out, Rena?
Oh, yeah.
How they look?
I just finished them.
Let's see them.
They look
Oh, those are good. Is that just the first batch?
Yep, the other batch is in.
Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't take very long. And if you don't do the proof like I did for an hour, then you can have these done in, probably about 45 minutes from start to finish. So now look. Oh, look at that. So good.
That is what we call yeast rolls.
Yes, except that yeast rolls are usually not as sweet. And they don't have as much honey in them. They usually use
sugar.
She won't, because she's keto. She won't eat it because she's keto. She won't. Yeah, well, we're not live, but Kendra is sitting here watching me eat, and she won't eat one because she's keto. She's this big. She's this big, but she won't eat them. Those look so good.
She's gonna do it.
Big deal. Good job, Rena.
Thank you.
There's no sugar.
Her accountant's over here waiting to come get one.
It's good? Are you lying? Can you get a close-up on her face?
No,
Because
please don't.
it's good, right?
It's amazing.
See?
But now it's like, now that I've had it,
Now you want more?
I can't unhave it.
Yes, she does.
Yep. Undoing keto, people. One person at a time over here, everybody. Yep. Eat the damn cake. That's all I'm gonna say. Just eat the damn cake. Life is too short. You could be hit by a bus tomorrow, and then what?
Do you know what I ate at the hockey game? I got a tub of popcorn this big, and I ate the entire
But that's popcorn.
And then I
Hi.
ate 3 slices.
There's Phil.
Hi, Phil. Is it good? Do you like it?
That's very good.
Right?
She makes these multiple times a
Just
week.
good in your gun. Just good in your gun.
There's another batch in the oven.
Cool.
Are they good? They're good, right? The difference between now, you could, if you're doing, I think you could substitute the honey with maple syrup. Huh? Then they're going to be even more sweet, but you'll have to buy American. Not you, Rena. You have to buy Canadian. Otherwise, you'll get in a lot of trouble right now. But it has to be. If you don't want to pay the tariff and the extra amount, you got to buy your maple syrup from what? Vermont. Vermont. I haven't tried it with maple syrup, but it may be just as good, if not a little bit sweeter.
I'll report back on the weekend.
Okay. Yeah. I want to know how it goes with maple syrup. Now, when I make my bread in the bread machine, because I don't know how this would work in a bread machine. I don't think it would work that well. It might. I'll have to try it. But when I make my bread in a bread machine, I never use sugar. I never put sugar in my bread. I always either use honey or maple syrup. And I never use butter. I use olive oil. So if you look at the recipes, like some of these recipes that are up here, and you want it to be a little bit better for you, and I know Kendra's going to be rolling her eyes and everything and saying, well, it's carbs. Well,
your body needs carbs.
You come and see me. You come and see me in 20 years, and then we'll talk carbs. When I'm like 70, when I'm 85 and sitting there eating cake with an ass this big, and I won't care.
I ate 3 burgers. I ate 3 hot dogs.
With or without the buns?
Oh, with the buns. I had 5 wings. I
See-
had a tub of popcorn, and I ate 1 entire row of Oreos.
Okay, so you overdo it. I'm talking moderation.
Well, that's when I want a cheat day. I overdid it.
If you do moderation, you don't overdo it.
Moderation, everything in moderation. So if you want to have the cake, but also have the vegetables. Don't eat the whole
I have
cake.
no self-control when it comes
Good
to
Lord.
it's like it's all or nothing with me because there's no self-control.
Unbelievable. So this is a recipe, Lynn, that I think Lauren could probably do as well.
Yeah.
So you may not
I'll
even
make
have to do it.
it. Project.
Yeah?
I'll make it her
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it this week. We'll do it.
Yeah, we
this
got to
week.
edit it.
Because I like fresh bread.
Okay. Well, I think that now that we've tasted this, are either of your boys there, Rena? No?
Yep, they're upstairs.
Tell them to come down. I want to see them try the bread. Lynn's glitching again. Having a stroke. Who's cleavage?
I don't know why I keep glitching.
Lynn's cleavage? Did we just see Lynn's cleavage? We did.
Lynn doesn't have cleavage tonight.
Lynn doesn't have cleavage. Normally I don't either, but
Well, we saw some shopping.
that's
No,
okay.
I'm dressed like a nun. I have my shirt's all the way up.
Are they coming down?
I've texted them. We'll see. It is a rare sighting indeed.
Okay.
Are your sons adults?
Yep.
21 and 18.
21 and what?
18.
18. Okay, that's the same age as my boys.
Yeah, we were pregnant with our 21-year-olds at the same time.
Yep. What month is Rory?
Yep. Rory is October, but he was early. He was due in December, but he was born the end of, the middle of October.
Yeah, because we were due really close.
Yeah, but you ended up going full term, and I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got induced a week early.
Yeah.
This is Mr. 18.
Sweet Jesus, he doesn't even fit on the camera. He's a linebacker.
Lineman.
Oh, lineman.
Oh, sorry.
Offensive lineman.
Oh, sorry.
21.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a full week.
Go ahead.
So they're a little
Taste it.
It's good.
It's good?
It's Raquel's recipe. So this is Raquel and Lynn.
Oh.
This is Aiden.
We've met
This-
Aiden.
Hi, Aiden.
It's good? You like it?
Raquel's met.
It's damn good.
He's got a smile on his face. You see, he's got a big smile on his face. See, that's why I make the bread, because that look on his face, that makes me happy.
Yeah. There's more in the oven.
Now,
Actually,
will I eat all of this? No. I probably
No.
will only have one, and that's it, because I don't eat bread. I know. I don't eat bread.
These ones are straight out.
Those are yummy. Those look good.
How do you not eat bread?
Well, if I go anywhere where there's a hamburger, I ask for it without the bun, and I get it in lettuce, a lettuce wrap.
Why?
I don't eat a lot of bread. That doesn't mean I don't eat carbs. Don't misunderstand that. And I do. I am a cookie monster, but because I'm a cookie monster. Oh wait, round 2.
This is the 21-year-old.
I'm waiting to see. Go ahead. What do you gotta sniff it first? Eat it. There you go. There you go. See. The interesting thing is, I will actually lose weight when I eat cookies, and I know that drives people crazy, but if I were to sit down and eat a ton of Oreo cookies, I would lose probably about 4 pounds. I don't know why. I
gained 4 pounds thinking about Oreo cookies.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's very strange. But I'll put on weight if I eat a salad.
It's amazing how Aaron will play us off of our own show. You see
Right?
how he's playing us off.
I'm sorry. Are we done?
We're done.
Are we done?
He says it's time to go.
It's time to go. Okay.
Aaron, just get over there and get a bun, and you'll be okay.
Well, he's gluten free, so he can't.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's his problem. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not doing it because he's bougie. He's doing it because he will literally be in pain, and then I'll have to deal with him, and I don't want to. So we're not doing that.
So you're saying we need to send him some gluten-free flour?
I have not figured out how to do this with gluten-free flour. I don't know why. It just doesn't come out right.
Does it work with the honey, maybe?
I don't know. I'll have to try it. I gotta keep testing it. I don't know. But in the meantime, thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Rena. I guess we have to go. I'm being told I have to go. So, are we recording another one? Are we recording another one?
Tonight?
Yeah. No? Look at her face.
Lynn was in a panic for a second there. So wait, what?
It's Look, it's a clock now. I'm gonna pass out in a minute.
It's a little bit late. So we're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna say goodbye. Thank you for joining us once again for an experiment that we've done. I think it went well. We may have to install an oven of some kind in here. Or next time we do this, I have an amazing recipe that's cooked over an open fire. Next time I go camping, we will have to see if we can hook up a camera and we'll learn how to make bread over an open fire, because that's just the kind of girl that I am.
That would be amazing.
I'm not, but I could try.
It's all about the gas hearing, girl.
I could try. So, anyway, I'm going to go and take this back into the kitchen, clean up this mess, and I don't know what day it is exactly today. We're going to run this on Sunday, so it will be the 30th. So, happy 30th of March. Is that the Ides of March? When is the Ides of March? Is that what it is? I don't know. Anyway, okay, Aaron is apparently playing me off, and I wish you wouldn't until I'm done talking, and that would be great. But we will see you, Lynn, next time. It's what? The 15th?
March 15th is the Ides of March.
Oh, okay. Well, I missed it. Oh, well. No, that's okay. Well,
close.
30th, 15th. It's all the same. Okay. I will see you guys later. Rena, stick around. Don't hang up, because I'm going to clean this mess up and then we'll have a coffee. Lynn, go to bed because you're about to fall asleep on me and we can't have that. But I really want to know what happens when you try this recipe. Promise me you're going to try this recipe.
Yes, I am, definitely.
And the next time we are back together, I will ask you about it. So no pressure, but
I want to hear all about that. Thank you for having me, ladies. Right. This was so much fun.
We will see you. He's turning the music up again, so we will see you soon. Love you. Bye.
Bye.